Hello friends, welcome to the series of lectures on digital marketing and e-commerce. I am Dr. Suchita Vishwakarma, Assistant Professor working with School of Management Sciences, Lucknow, and today we are going to start with our unit 4, and then in this particular unit we would be talking about using marketing strategies and analytical tools, and we would understand that how digital marketing strategies work in coherence with the various digital marketing analytics tools. So, let us get started with it over here. You all must have heard about Peter Drucker. He has lot of contributions. He has made remarkable contributions in the field of management. So, once he said that what gets measured can be managed and what does not get, vice versa, what does not get measured cannot be managed. This is a beautiful line which I have taken for all of you, because you need to understand that if we do not measure anything in the real life, then probably we will not be able to estimate that how much efforts has been put into this that particular area, and so the productivity and the efficiency would go down. So, we need to measure everything wherever we want to improve our efficiencies and productivity. So, over here for measuring our performance, in the case of marketing field, obviously marketing analytics plays a very vital role. So, let us understand what marketing analytics is all about. Marketing analytics is basically the study of data which is gathered through various marketing campaigns in order to discern, in order to understand the patterns that these particular campaigns have, the patterns that can be observed or that can be seen in the duration of these campaigns. And these the patterns could be in terms of the kind of the number of audience that have visited, the time spent, time that they have spent. It could be in terms of the conversion, it could be in terms of lead generation, it could be in terms of the creative preference, it could be also in terms of the areas which were more liked by the audience, and so more. So, there are a lot of things in which you can use the analytical tools to understand that how well your campaign has performed or how not well the campaign has performed. Because if you do not understand that what are the areas, what are the grey areas that have been there in your campaign, you will not be able to improve it, and hence will not be able to increase your profit as well. So, the goal of marketing analytics as a practice is to use the patterns and finding to optimize the future campaigns based on what what percentage of success that particular campaign has achieved. So, digital marketing analytics are the transformation of customer behavior into actionable business data. So, what do we mean by this? Basically, every customer does lot of things which may be deliberate, which may be done on an unconscious state, but whatever actions are being taken by the customer in terms of whether viewing, whether not viewing, whether liking a product, not liking a product, switching to one website or another site, all these have lot of impact on the business organizations. So, once organization understands that how all these are related to his profitability, then only he will be able to the organization will be able to leverage on these particular statistics. So, let us move further and let us have a quick look on the definition of marketing analytics. So, marketing analytics can be understood as a practice of measuring and analyzing data and the matrix to understand the impact of various marketing activities, and which will actually lead to maximizing of ROI and identifying the areas of improvement. As I discussed, unless you do not know that what has been your grey area, you will not be able to improve. An effective marketing analytics practice tracks and collects data across multiple marketing channels. So, over here we do not want to confine ourselves on trying to find out data and collect data only from one particular platform, because in today's world we know that digital marketing is one of the ways through which the companies are trying to get connected to their audience through multiple channels, multiple medias, multiple devices, multiple platforms. So, over here we need to understand that the organization must take in consideration that how I mean the customers are getting connected to their brand through the various kinds of platforms, and that only will lead to more of profit, because there could be example this can be, I mean, better understood that, for example, if a company feels that the people who are getting connected to them is more through social media in comparison to any other, I mean through email or through telephone or through traditional methods, then obviously that company needs to focus on more, should focus more on social media. So similarly, these patterns basically help the organization to understand that where is the area where they should invest more, and keep invest not only in terms of money but also in the terms of time and effort. So the major three importance of marketing analytics is to provide a right kind of advertisement. Over here I would like to also replace the word advertisement with the communication, that means providing right kind of communication at the right time through the right channel. So this is the basic aim of the marketing team, and the same is the aim of the marketing analytics. That means if you understand your customers well, then you will be able to communicate in the way they want to listen it, at the time when they want to listen it, and through the channel that they are using the most. So that is what is basic, the importance or the aim of marketing analytics. And over here, if a company does all these three activities properly, then obviously that will help the company funnel down lots of leads also. So let us understand that how organizations use marketing analytics. Companies are using this particular concept for various purposes. That means for understanding the behavior of consumers related to their product, that how popular the product is, how well it has been used, what are the various ways, what is the usage pattern, why the people are using. So all information related to product. Then the customer trends and the preferences, that what, when, why and how the consumers purchase. Then the product development trends also, that if a product has been developed, what is the likability also. Then the customer support also, this is something very important where marketing analytics is playing a huge role, by understanding that what has been the number of grievances, what has been the number of complaints, what time, how much time it took for the company to get back to the customers, and whether they were happy or not, or satisfied or not satisfied by the support that was provided from the organization. So keeping a track of the complete support customer support service is also very important. Then messaging and media, that means when the company is trying to get connected to the audience, then also it is very important that what is the kind of content, how long, how short, how much impressions, how much clicks, and such kind of things. Then for competitions also, one must know that what are the different kind of practices adopted by competition, what has been the impressions, clicks, and what has been the success rate of the competition. And obviously all of this will actually help in predicting the future results. So marketing analytics is basically understanding the past and the present in order to better perform in future. Now let us have a quick look on how marketing analytics works. This this practice of marketing analytics is performed at a 4-stage level. The first is modeling, concept, tools and metrics. So let us understand all of them one by one. So when we are talking about modeling, the first stage of marketing analytics is modeling. So over here we need to understand that there are various kinds of models which are already given by the experts, and a company may choose what kind of model they want to choose. So there are basically 7 kinds of model. Let us have a quick look on these models. So the first is single touch attribution model. That means this particular model basically believes in assigning revenue credit to only one touch. What does it mean? That means whether the company wants to understand that what has been the how many number of visitors have been there in if for a particular touch point. So, touch points are basically all those points through which the customer is getting connected through a particular brand. For example, for getting connected to Nike, I have lot of options. I can download a Nike app, I can go to their website, I can go to their social media platform, I can mail them, I can call them on their customer care. So, these are the various kinds of touch points. These are these many touch points. So, what is I mean, if I am if I as a marketer want to understand that if a customer wants to get connected to me, what are the different kinds of touch points that I am offering, and which one is more preferred by the customer, then that person can use that marketer or that company should use single touch attribution model, where one I mean where most of the counting or the credit is given to only one touch point. That means individually you can keep and check or monitor that what are the different touch points and what kind of credit has been received individually by all the touch points. Then we have first touch point, that means when you want to understand that what was the first touch point that was used by the audience or the potential visitor, I mean potential customer for getting connected to you. So, that is the first touch point, that means assigns credit to all the first touch points that the customer has interacted with. Then vice versa is the case of last touch point, that means if I have for connecting to a company, I have get connected to various touch points. I have used email also, I have used let us say social media also, and then the last thing that I have done is a telephonic phone call. So, that what was the last touch point, and most of the credit will be given to the last touch point. Then we have multi touch point attribution models also, where not equal, but then I mean a synergetic effect is taken into consideration, and where it is believed that all these multiple channels have together worked in collaboration to each other and have contributed for the final sale. So, all of them are given due weightages in terms of credit. And then we have linear attribution models also, where it is believed that I mean all the channels or the touch points which were used by the customer should get equal weightage. So, the difference between multi touch points and linear attribution model is that in linear attribution model all the touch points are given equal weightage, while in multi touch points there are different kinds of weightages given to the different touch points. Then we have time decay attribution, which says that the closest the touch point was in just before conversion, that particular touch point would get most of the credit. So, that means with this particular kind of model, by using this particular model, you can understand the company can understand that just before sale what was the source of the digital platform which basically contributed in final conversion of their customers. And then we have U-shaped or position based attribution model also, which says that 40% credit is assigned to each first and the last touch point, and then the rest the remaining 20% is distributed evenly between all the middle touch points. That means the touch point that was used by the customer at the first glance and at the last glance is given the most of the importance, and then rest of all the touch points which were used by the customer for maybe evaluating the product or maybe understanding the competitor and such, they are given comparatively lesser weightage, that is 20%. So, with these, by using the various kinds of touch points or maybe deciding that which kind of touch point which kind of model that the company wants to use, you will be able to focus on understanding that what is more important. That means, if I as a company wants to understand that which device or which platform is more important to me, and I want to understand the statistics related to the various devices and platforms that are offered by me, then probably such kind of understanding of these attribution models will play a great role. Then we have the different types of after obviously understanding the models, one needs to also understand the various kinds of marketing analytics. So, we have four types of marketing analytics. First is the web analytics, digital, then we have lead generation, and then we have ROI analytics. Let us understand all of them one by one. So, the first is web analytics. Basically, this is the analytics or understanding of the statistical data for a particular website. So, when this kind of method is basically used to determine whether your online message has been captivating for audience, or whether they are taking action related to them or not. And over here the focus is on analyzing the number of visitors, the performance, their actions, and the lead generation and the lead conversion, all for the particular website only. So, basically this focuses, as the word itself say, it is web analytics. So, it is basically related to a particular website of the company. So, the core web analytics tool includes the page load time, that means how much time was taken by the website to load a particular page, how many people visited how many of the pages, then what was the time on the site, how much time did they spend, how many downloads were done from the particular website, at which geographical locations these websites were looked upon, and I mean how many what was the traffic by channel, I mean whether this website was opened through the mobile or through the desktop or PC or laptop or whatever, such kind of things. So, all when a marketer tries to identify or collect data related to his website, then web analytics plays an important role. Then we have digital marketing analytics. This digital marketing analytics is, as the word itself says, it is about analyzing the data for the digital marketing platforms, and it is not restricted to website only, it is related to multiple locations, multi-channels. So, over here the company tries to simultaneously tries to identify and collect data related to all the multiple channels. That means it could be through the for the email, it could be for social media also, the various kinds of social media platforms on which they are present. It could be for website also, it could be through the blogging also, it could be for all the various activities that they are using in collaboration. So, as over here you can see that over here in digital marketing basically includes email engagement, social media, online sales and leads, offline sales also, then it also includes website traffic, website event, digital advertising, how SEO and SEM has been performing. So, when the company tries to know about all the overall holistic statistics about all the things that they are doing, then it is called digital marketing analytics. Then we have lead generation analytics. This helps us in understanding data related to the lead generation success. That means how many people have, if they were sent, for example, if the, people were sent emails, and how many people actually clicked on the URL that was shared through the email, and then how many, if they had clicked, then how many turned into leads, and then how many actually from those leads, how many got converted in terms by purchasing any product or service, or even it may be through subscriptions also. So, that basically lead generation analytics focuses on lead generation only. It does not focus on the number of visitors, it does not focus on the uploading time, it does not focuses on that how much time was spent by the customer or so. It just focuses that out of the total how many leads got generated and how many got converted. So, that is the basic perspective. That means, over here you can see that the various indices that are taken in consideration for lead generation analytics are click through rate, conversion rate, time to convert, how much time was taken by the customer to think, evaluate, and then finally take decision, cost per lead, how much money is being given by the company to the search engine for getting these leads. Then leads per channel, how many leads hot leads, warm leads are being received by the company through each channel. then month to date success, what has been the success ratio, and then obviously the number of qualified leads, that means how many have finally got converted. So, this basically lead generation analytics talks about the basically this narrowing the sales funnel. Then we have obviously ROI analytics, that is return on investment. Over here the basic concept is understanding the returns on investment. That means the company is obviously students over here, please understand that company is investing a lot of money in various kinds of activities. It could be for email campaigns, it could be for blogging activities, it could be for influencer marketing, it could be for social media viral marketing, or any other thing. So, in each of the case, or even bidding for the keywords and so also. So, over here, since we know that that the companies, all the organizations are profit making organizations, and they want to earn, ultimately they want to earn profit. So, all the company would be very much interested to understand that whatever amount of money that they are investing into these different activities on these various different platforms, on these various different channels, how much money they are getting in return. That means, for a single penny, what is the return? If the return is lesser than the penny spent, then that does not make sense. So, over here the return of investment analytics basically tries to compare the revenue generation in terms of the cost or the expenditures that the company has done on the various digital platforms. Now, coming to the various marketing analytical tools. So, let us have a quick look. There are various kinds of marketing analytical tools that are used by the companies. So, we have email marketing, email analytical tools. Then we have web analytical tools, these are the various kinds of web analytical tools. Then we also have visual behavior and testing tools, where we can understand that where the companies can use these tools to understand that how the customers have looked at that website, and what are the areas where they have gazed more, or where they have read more. So, these are the tools basically which helps us understand that what is the gazing or looking at behavior of the customers, and through that they can identify that which particular part of their screen is more attractive, or which part of which word is more attractive, and so they can again rectify their content and reform their content on the websites accordingly. Then we have SEO analytical tools, that means these tools basically help to understand that how much optimization has been done, how much searchability has improved after the various kind of SEO techniques that has been used by the organization. Then we have social media analytical tools as well, which helps understand that what is the kind of presence that we have on social media, whether people are liking it, what are the things that are getting viral and what not. And similarly, then we have content analytical tools as well, which will help understand that the performance of the content shared by the organization. Then these are the various kinds of metrics which are used by marketing companies for analyzing the data, and we have various kind of various kind of indices based on the various kind of things. That means what are the matrix, and we have various indicators. So, we have foundation matrix, SEO, paid ad matrix, then we have blogging matrix, social media matrix, email marketing matrix, and over here you can understand from this particular chart itself that the purpose of marketer differs, the aim of the marketers differs, and different organizations at different time that means the same marketer can at this particular time, if for example, there has been a company who has recently launched or who has recently marked its presence on digital platforms. So, at this particular stage they would be more interested to understand that what is their reach and how many people are actually coming to their website and how many people are visiting to their website. So, in that particular case they would be more interested to know that whether the content and the blog and whatever that they have shared, whether it is reaching to people or not. So, in that case they may be interested in knowing about the SEO metrics, that means how many organic traffic has come, what is the keyword ranking that they have, whether the organic conversion rate is good or not. And then maybe in another case that the same company would have launched a email marketing campaign, and then they would be obviously interested to know that what has been the delivery rate, has been the opening rate. Then they would also like to know about the CTR, the subscriptions, the conversion rate also. That means depending on the different aims that the organization have in their lifetime related to different products, they can use these different marketing analytical tools accordingly. So, now since we have talked a lot about and try to understand that what are the different ways through which marketing analytics can be taken in use. So, let us now understand the challenges of analyzing data. So, there are various kinds of challenges also. The first being the data quantity. I mean, there are times when the companies are not able to collect sufficient number of data to generalize their inferences, because collecting data from a very small number will not help them generalize and will not help them understand the opinion from the masses. So, data quantity. Then data quality is also important, because at times there are people who are not ready to respond, the customers or the competitors may not be ready to respond or give a genuine feedback. So, that basically degrades the data quality, and then the responses which are received will not be of any benefit or any sense to the organization. Then lack of data scientists. This is something that means there are a lot of expertise which is required for understanding, for collecting data, for understanding and interpreting data. If they are not sufficient people, or the people whom we have hired are not expert, then that would actually lead to not proper inferences, and which will obviously hamper the complete analytical activity as well. Then selecting attribution model, we had discussed about the 7 attribution models. So, company needs to understand that what particular attribution model they want to adopt to understand the statistics related to them. And then correlating data, that means once you have actually collected data and used these mathematical models to interpret it, and once the result has come, then it is very important to understand that how that particular number that has been received after the mathematical computation or the mathematical model, how that is actually making sense to the organization. So, basically correlating data into everyday's practice is something very important, and which is very complex process also. It is not very easy to understand. So, a proper expertise is also required, which is not possessed by everyone. So, this again plays a big challenge. There are various kinds of popular marketing analytical tools, though we have discussed in detail. There are some more which are very common, which are very popular, including Google Analytics, Mixpanel, Heap Analytics, Sci-Fi and Optimizely. So, with this I end up my session over here. I hope this particular session would have been knowledge gaining for you, and by now you would have been able to understand that what is the role of marketing analytics and why it is very important to analyze whatever you are doing, why it is very important to understand your performance after each and everything that you do. So, for detailed understanding you can obviously go to these references and have a greater understanding. So, thank you students.